Joining us now to discuss, host of America Right Now on Newsmax, Tom Basile, and radio host Chris Markowski. Chris, I'll start with you. It seems like Wall Street likes this free money. There's going to be a lot of money floating out there. So somebody must like it on Wall Street. We've got new highs on the Dow, new highs on the S&P 500. So give me your take as to what's going on.
I mean, money's got to find a home somewhere. You're absolutely right. They're printing a ton of it, without a doubt. It was LeBron James highlight clips are getting securitized and being sold for $200,000. We've gotten to an absurd point. But is this good actually for the American people? I'd say no. If we were using the same inflation metrics that we were using back in the 1980s, we'd be running about 10% as far as inflation is concerned. So that basically puts real interest rates for everybody at negative 8% and then some. That's not good. Everybody who's going out and buying stuff at their grocery store, going out to dinner, paying a toll, whatever it may be, is paying a hell of a lot more because inflation is running very hot. And I don't care what the Fed is saying. We can all see it for ourselves.
Yeah. So, Tom, I would have you, just bring it home to like the kitchen table and why this matters to folks and how they'll be impacted directly and when.
Well, look, this is a complete overhaul of our fiscal and welfare policy in this country, and it's incredibly dangerous. We are now from a debt to GDP ratio totally upside down. We have more debt than at any time via GDP than since World War II. This is it's a backdoor way for the left in this country to advance universal basic income or some form of universal basic income. When you look at this bill, you have the federal government dictating to states that they're not allowed to cut taxes. They're not allowed to offer tax credits and voucher programs. That's the type of thing that is going to impact a lot of people in this country. And just the idea through this child tax credit scheme that they've got, that you're going to increase the number of people getting a monthly check from the government by tens of millions really sets us down a very, very dangerous path.
Yeah, and we also have another package coming, possibly a stimulus bill.
Yes.
So there's more spending coming down the road, and it seems like these Democrats have completely forgotten the idea of keeping track of what you're spending. They're going into the modern monetary theory without going into that. It's like, right. You need more money, just print more money.
Yeah, I tried to explain this to my listeners as that late 1970s Disney film, the creepy one, The Black Hole. You don't know what's on the other side of the black hole. We cannot just keep going in that direction and not expect to be some sort of repercussions at some point in time. We go back to 2010, and it didn't take much to throw Europe into disarray when interest rates just went up a little bit. The Fed can only print for so long and try to keep these interest rates down at a reasonable level. The reality is most of our debt is in short-term instruments, meaning that we have to roll it over again and again and again. So if interest rates do come up, what is that going to do to our budget? It'll even make it worse than it is now.
Yeah.
Tom, this would be payments to cities and states who didn't run things correctly the first time around. So we're all bailing them out. Pension bailouts for unions, money for long-term progressive democratic policies, including bridges and tunnels and everything else. So where does this end, especially since Bob was just talking about other spending plans coming down the pike?
Look, and that's the reason why this is so dangerous, because now, Bernie Sanders is talking about, well, maybe we need to do $4,000 checks. And they're talking about, and it's not stimulus. President Trump cut taxes. We cut regulations. The bones of this economy were very good. It's now opening up, and we're going to see record growth, not because of government spending, but because the bones of this economy were good. And instead of rewarding failure, we should be trying to increase real opportunity and job creation. And this bill doesn't do that.
Yeah. Someone said deficits means taxes for future generations. So that's definitely coming. Tom and Chris, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.